WXII 12 News. This is breaking news.
Greensboro police have charged 5 people in a shooting that happened outside the Electric Tequila bar.
It's happened back in November. This is surveillance video from that night. 2 people, a 22-year-old woman and a 35-year-old man, were injured. Investigators say the bar was hosting a party that night, and there were several gang members and their associates who were there that evening. Later, the owner of Electric Tequila, Bobby Bullens, was charged in connection with the shooting.
We're told detectives spent 500 hours looking into the case. They collected 116 spent shell casings as evidence and were able to link those to 14 firearms used in this shooting.
Today, officers took the 5 people listed on your screen into custody in connection with the incident. 3 of them are facing firearms charges, while 2 are accused of obstructing a police investigation.
Over the weekend, we learned Electric Tequila stopped business and moved out of its space on Battleground Avenue. We reached out to Bullens for a comment, but have not yet heard back. WXII 12's Kara Peters is working to get more information about the arrests. Look for coverage both on air and online.
Also breaking on this Monday, attorneys for former President Trump are asking a judge to delay the start of his criminal hush money trial until the Supreme Court rules on the scope of presidential immunity. Right now, the trial is set to begin March 25th. It is tied to payments to an adult film star during his 2016 campaign. Mr. Trump's lawyers argue some of the evidence and alleged facts in this case overlap with his days in the White House and, as a result, constitute official acts.
New at 4, a family in Greensboro is grieving after 2 people died in a shooting early Friday morning.
WXII 12's Joshua Davis joins us from Spring Garden Street, where he spoke with the brother of one of those victims. Joshua.
Masin Hamid's older brother says their family is still in shock and they're doing what they can to honor his memory.
It's been the worst few days of my life.
All right, it looks like we're having some difficulties with that story. We will try to get back to that in just a few moments. Meanwhile, Greensboro Mayor Nancy Vaughn says she wants to meet with community stakeholders about holding nightclub owners responsible for their customer safety. The city council could revisit an entertainment ordinance they were looking into as businesses were reopening after the pandemic. No word if that is on the agenda for a work session planned for Thursday afternoon.
Sports betting is now legal in North Carolina, and I'm taking the Canes to win the Stanley Cup.
As of noon today, online sports gambling is officially legal in our state, and Governor Cooper, as you see there, is already in on the action. North Carolina joins 38 other states to legalize this form of gambling. It's also the 30th to allow mobile gambling as well.
Able to place wagers on their phone for about 4 hours now, all of it coming just one day before the ACC men's basketball tournament begins. Chanel Porter will talk about that in a moment.
Want to begin our team coverage, though, in-house with Chris Peterson with a look ahead to this big change. Chris.
Yeah, as you mentioned, as of noon today, sports betting was legalized in North Carolina, and it has benefits that reach beyond sports fans.
With mobile sports betting becoming legal in North Carolina a few hours ago at noon today.
Josh Graham is the host of The Drive, the longest-running sports talk show in the Triad. Graham says fans have been talking about this day for a long time.
It's something that the people want, that people enjoy, namely sports fans, and today they get their chance to enjoy it finally.
Graham says it's no secret that people have been betting on sports since the beginning of sport, and with March Madness around the corner, you won't have to hide that office bracket pool from the boss.
You can go out there and say that you bet on the Tar Heels and that you don't have to hide and say, well, I just wagered on it. It's not something that I put. Let's just be adults about it. It's something that people already did before.
Jonathan Coleman is the Senior Director for Communications with Charlotte Motor Speedway. Coleman says sports betting has benefits that reach beyond sports fans. The sports betting bill created a fund that will be used to attract sporting events to North Carolina. He's betting those events will bring more money to the state.
But suddenly you're going to be putting heads in beds in hotels. You're going to have folks coming in from out of town who attend those events that are going to be eating at restaurants. So the tourism impact really grows when you're able to attract and draw those special events to your community.
Graham says the fascinating thing to see is whether the casual sports fans, like the ones who just enter the office NCAA tournament pool, end up getting more involved in sports and sports betting. I'm Chris Peterson in studio, WXI 12 News.
Chris, thank you very much. When it comes to placing your first bet, you have to be at least 21 years old and physically be in North Carolina. Right now, you can bet on professional, college, electronic, and Olympic sports. The commission is drafting rules for betting on horse racing as well. In-person betting at venues will be on a case-by-case basis. Currently, 8 companies have received official operator licenses.
But with the easy accessibility comes some concerns about addiction. Counselors are available free of charge for anyone with a gambling problem. Resources to get help are available online at morethanagame.nc.gov or by phone at 877-718-5543.